implementing suggestion from the committees. So there was a Goswami committee, Dinesh Goswami committee and Tarkunte committee. Dinesh Goswami committee and Tarkunde committee. Then there was Indrajit Gupta committee. This committee looks into the matters of political decision making and what are the political initiatives taken by Government of India under which the political parties can take any decision for raising voice against any activities, any challenges, any kind of situation occurring in the society, any issues that are coming in the front of the society. So political party take decision in front of creating changes in the existing structure of the socio-political system. So remember this committee, and which has strongly argued about transparent working of political parties. So therefore we saw there was a electoral bond in order to have transparency. Then 1999 Law Commission report suggested that introduction of regulatory framework for governing internal structure of any political party, and which looks into the internal structure of political party, अंदरूनी ढांचे में कोई भी political party कैसे निर्णय ले रही है, that was advocated by Law Commission in 1999. And Draft Political Parties Registration and Regulation Act 2011 was submitted to the Union Law Ministry. कानून मंत्रालय के द्वारा एक कानून लाया गया in the year of 2011 that guides for the provision for maintaining the political administration, agenda of political parties and political activities in a disciplined manner by providing constitution, functioning, funding, accounts and auditing of the other affairs of the political parties in the election. Now next part goes for anti-defection law, the most highlighted law. That defection was the issue when there were people who were changing their party after election. So in order to protect the people changing their party after election, the Calcutta High Court has given West Bengal government an order to Speaker to deadline to pass an order to the defection cases. What is defection? Defection is a situation, friends, when people are changing their political party in the end of the election. As the result came out, many people try to change their political party and go into the other party to become a minister, to get certain profitable post. That is again a defection. And when certain people is holding office of profit, then again it goes for the defection. So office of profit and changing of party. So defection may be defined as the practice of floor crossing by a member of one political party to another, and that is also called as horse trading. Now what is horse trading? You see that there are horses before the race, तो घोड़ों को रेस से पहले खरीदना बेचा जाता है. That horses are taken, procured by other people, and there is betting and gambling on the best quality of the horse. So when the horse is taken on the other step, then there is procurement of that horse by a rich party. That is called as a horse trading, and that again happens into the case of political parties, which rich party by other people, MPs, MLAs, खरीदा बेचा जाता है. You know it. Now, evolution of anti-defection law in India. So before 1967, India has witnessed 500 defection, mostly in the states. 1967 में ही बहुत सारे defection हो गए थे when there was Indira Gandhi government. Then 1967 and 72, more than half of the state legislature sits to at least one side of the other, and that leads to political disturbances and culminating into the 1968 Committee on Defection order the chairperson and Union Home Ministry, Sri Y.B. Chavan, that was appointed to study the problem of political defection and issues staying out of the defected situation. Now 1973 the government tables constitution 32nd amendment bill that tackled defection which ultimately lapsed. 1985 10th schedule provide 10th schedule was added in the constitution in order to provide the measures that are tackled inside the defection situation. That is again a part of defection, and there was anti-defection law passed by the 52nd Amendment Act. तो 52वां संविधानिक संशोधन लागू किया गया जिसमें एक नया कानून that is law on the anti-defection was created. Now, what are the actions of anti-defection law? 10th schedule contain the provision for the defection method. 10वां अध्यादेश डिफेक्शन के लिए घोषणा देता है that gives for disqualification a member of a house belonging to any political party and changes to the other political party becomes disqualified for being a member of house if he voluntarily gives up his membership of such political party, he votes or abstains from voting. Whether he votes in the house and he gets abstains from the voting, then he becomes a member of this political party. Without obtaining prior permission to such political party, he acts on the contents by the party within 15 days, and an independent member of house becomes disqualified, remain a member of house if he joins any political party after such election. इलेक्शन के बाद अगर कोई मेंबर दूसरी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को ज्वाइन करता है, then he again goes for the changes in the other scenario and became disqualified. Remember this fact for your prelims and mains point of view. Now, a nominated member of house becomes disqualified for being a member of house if he joins any political party after 6 months of the election date. तो इलेक्शन के 6 मंथ के बाद अगर एक मेंबर ज्वाइन करता है दूसरी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को, देन ही गेट्स डिस्क्वालिफाइड. Sorry. What are the exceptions? Legislature may change their party without the risk of disqualification in certain circumstances. The law allows a party to merge into the other party provided at least 2/3 of its legislatures in favor of the merger, and a person is elected as the Speaker of Lok Sabha or the Chairman of Rajya Sabha, then he could resign from his party and rejoin a party which once demands the post. किसी पोस्ट को लेके या किसी मंत्रालय को लेकर के अगर एक parliamentarian or any person of any party changes to the other party, then he becomes disqualified. It must be noted that the provision of 10th schedule pertaining to exemption from disqualification in the case of 1/3 member of the legislature party that are added in the 91st Amendment Act of 2003. इक्यानवा संवैधानिक संशोधन 2003 के द्वारा प्रोविजन लाया गया. Now, what are the next news? That is furlough not the prisoners' rights, says Supreme Court of India. What is furlough? So when we see that there are prisoners kept inside the prison for various charges and criminal offences, जब वे जेल में बंद रहते हैं, then at certain situation such as death of certain family members, certain cases of disharmony, certain situation of family emergency in which they have to go out of the prison, so वो furlough के लिए apply करते हैं, and that is supported by any human right activist. Then the jail superintendent who is presiding the jail looks into the conduct of that prisoner और उसके conduct को देखते हुए he passes on the furlough and parole. उसके बाद उसे कुछ पीरियड के लिए फॉर पीरियड ऑफ 15 days, 1 month or 2 months, he grants bail and come out of the jail. He goes to his family, meet his family members. So Prisoners Act of 1894 is an act that guides the situations of furlough and in the custody. Now, parole is granted to the prisoners to meet a specific exigency. Furlough may be granted after a stipulated period of time, and that is without any reason. Period of furlough was granted to a prisoner treated as a remission of his sentence. Parole is a system of releasing prisoners with a suspension of the sentence. So parole पे कोई भी कैदी तब बाहर आता है when there is a suspension of certain kind of that jail term or period of sentence to him. Then SC stated that although furlough can be removed, but the sentence of parole cannot be reduced. So that again makes a claim to the furlough in the situation of India, that is a legal right to the prisoner. Now we should look into the certain news which makes the international news so far. So what is the news? India's development cooperation. Why in news? Enhancing the efficiency of India's development cooperation endeavors has been challenging. And why is that? First effort shape framework on IDI, India's development initiative that leads to IDEAS, that is Indian Development Economic Assistance Scheme. Remember this IDEA, Indian Development Economic Assistance Scheme of 2005, and that makes for the international authority over the India's trade and economic perspective that government suspend IDI announces setting up of India's International Development Corporation IIDCA, and which looks on the lack of firm institutional foundation to support the development cooperation agendas. Now, India needs a clear vision to lead a sustainable development agenda while positioning itself as a global power with the interest beyond its immediate neighborhood. Next part is efforts by India in development cooperation. Indian Technical Economic Cooperation is there, which looks into the matters of India's development initiative, India's economic activities, and make plans and suggest the policy measures to the acting government in order to have their capacity building initiative and other programs. So it was constituted in 1961, 1964 May it was created, and it looks into the matters of prominent aspect of development and cooperation. Now there is India Aid Mission which launched in Nepal 1952, which looks into the support from India to the Nepal. There are various communities in Nepal which belongs to the Indian territory that need various kind of support measures. Now the matter of new emerging and strategic technologies division is also there, where India also supports the newly developed and newly independent states of African nations and such nations which are struggling for their development and they are lagging at their various development agenda. So in terms we see of being facilitation collaboration with foreign countries to advance technologies as well as geographical division for better coordination. In Ethiopia, for example, we see that there was a germplasm in which government invested so far. India also invested new technology for processing and access to market apart from support to packaging and other part of European markets. India also has supporting the development of several partner countries in the Africa and Asia. Now, how 5 modalities of development and cooperation framework at global level, how India is making global cooperation. So 5 modalities are there. First is their technology sharing, by sharing of newly developed advanced technologies such as IoT, AI, space technology, that are all part of technology. Then grant providing funds to the other nations which are in need, and there is a trade deal where is duty free and quota free access to the Indian market is provided. Then capacity building, where India helps to human resource development and strengthening of the other friendly nations. And then is concessional finance and cheap loans. Concessional finance are provided to those nations which need development at the parliance at various levels, that are again part of it. And next part is India Central Asia. So recently Foreign Minister of Kyrgyzstan was bilateral visit, and it was announced to have 200 million credit line. Later he attended. So what was the issue? Kyrgyzstan के Foreign Minister की India में visit हुई, and that visit helped him to get a 200 million credit line. Later attended meeting of the conference on interaction and confidence building measures in India, CICA, in Kazakhstan. India Central Asia relation from past to present. Central Asian Republic, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan from part of India extended neighborhood. India has several millennia old historical, cultural and civilizational link with Central Asia. India has historical tie with Central Asia. Let us look into it. If that is India, and this is part of Pakistan, that is Afghanistan, that is Iran, Iraq, Syria, and there comes Africa, Egypt, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan. They all have trade relations with a trade route to India. So there was a golden crescent and there was a international trade route. So these all countries were coming to India to trade various kind of merchandises, spices, textile, cotton products and other kind of paper products from India to their countries, and there was a huge trade deal with all these parts of India. So that again makes a part of India and South Asian nations and the Central Asian nations deal. We see that this is Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is rich in energy sources, coal, uranium and lithium. So there is China, Pakistan and here is India. इंडिया के साथ इसकी डील होती है in terms of various kind of matters and materials. So India has provided 200 million of funding to the Kazakhstan and also funding support to Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan. Now we should look into the other perspective, that into the news. So there is ancient and medieval period. India saw trade of goods, ideas, thoughts from Central Asia beyond Silk Route, Macedonia, Kushanas, Babur, Mughal, Sufism were taken part into it. And second was in modern period where Imperial Russia as a great game indulged into trade with the Indian body. In third part in 1990s we saw that there was a trade and development of CR with gained independence countries. Those countries who got independence after 1950, they all have good trade relations with India, and Taliban Northern Alliance in Afghanistan routed through Tajikistan. Then India's first overseas military base. 2010 there are again good relationship with Central Asia policy. There is Shanghai Cooperation Organization formed in 2017. India again forms a multilateral grouping with the IPS and second India-Asia dialogue. Then there is a Tapi pipeline with Afghanistan, Pakistan, Turkmenistan. and there is civil nuclear cooperation with Kazakhstan. So uranium is a major factor of India's friendship with Kazakhstan. Remember this all fact for the prelims point of view. There was Central Asian Consulate in Tashkent in 1987, where vibrant cultural and economic perspective were shared. Remember this PT and means also. Now, next part is the development of connectivity effort by India. So, International North-South Transport Cooperation, and in 2000 also offers connectivity between India and Central Asia through Iran. There is Central Asia via Iran's Chabahar port, and there is facilitation of transport of goods between India and Central Asia via Iran. India also acceded to goods and services by transporting various kind of goods and services to the Central Asian nations, and joined Ashgabat Agreement, which includes ports, roads, gas pipeline, merchandise trade, and so on.